Welcome, folks. I am JABY KOAY, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
What's up?
We are watching Moon Knight Season 1, Episode 4, and if you guys are watching this with us on YouTube, you see a cut-down version of our reaction because we're only allowed to show you a limited amount of picture-in-picture. However, if you want to watch the whole episode with us, uncut, uninterrupted, head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/JABYKOAY. We can watch the whole episode with us, but you will need your own Disney Plus subscription, so you can open it up in an adjacent window to our reaction. And it's like you're watching it with two of your favorite pals from the internet.
Pow, pow.
Now, if you're watching this on Patreon already, thanks so much for supporting us here. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up to let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. Okie dokie, here we go.
Steven, wake up. Come on. Wake the hell up.
So presumably he doesn't have his power, right?
Yes, I think so. Who is that? A friend or a foe? Oh, definitely not a friend! Not a friend! Not a friend! Okay. Oh, girl. What now?
Their movement is based on vision!
Where did she go? Oh, on the other side. Death by flip. Oh!
She's just looking at it. It's like, that's deadly.
What? Fireworks in the desert.
How did she know the bullets were exposed back there?
She saw it.
When the truck was going down?
Yeah, they showed a shot, which was
I know they showed
her
a shot,
point
but
of
it's
view.
like, it's really good vision.
Khonshu, he would disappear for good, but that deal didn't involve you getting Layla and us killed, did it? That's not gonna fly with me.
You guys made a deal that he would just disappear from my life. And you didn't think that maybe I should have been made aware of that?
Oh, good point.
We're not going to do that.
We are not. It's just you and me and the open road.
Oh! Is it technically stealing your girl if you're the one stealing your girl?
I mean... Yes? There was a whole thing about that in Me, Myself, and Irene.
Oh, I don't think I watched that film.
Yeah, Jim Carrey's character considered it cheating, even though it was
Himself.
his body, yeah,
Right.
himself.
Hello.
Let's check for supplies.
Did they go in yet? They're in. No one's there guarding. Why? There's a flaw in your security.
I mean, why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Mark's trying to protect you from Khonshu. That's why he's been pushing you away.
Aw.
It wasn't his call to make. I don't need protection. What I need is honesty.
Which he just gave you.
I get that.
That's more of a you thing, isn't it? Being honesty.
Oh, my God. That's like the most awkward kiss. Oh, okay.
He really likes her.
Oh, it's getting cute.
She's gonna stop it.
Is it weird? Strangely familiar and yet strange.
I'm gonna go down.
Okay.
First.
Well, yeah. Great.
Before I belay.
Thank you. What's belay?
I still can't tell when you're joking or not.
His whole body language is mannerisms.
Oh.
See, like that should have been integrated into the fight scenes in the previous episode. If he has that kind of power.
Are you okay?
Amazing. Wow.
Here you go.
Thank you. Oh, wow. Look at you.
He would have loved to be here.
Oh, yeah? Big history buff, is he?
Oh, so much worse. Archaeologist on a mission.
Is his name Indiana?
I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, it's fine. Really.
I bet that he'd be positively beaming right now, seeing you standing in the proof of it.
He's so in love. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. like 6
What would they be shooting at?
points.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Toko, what are you doing?
This whole structure. It's a
Eye of
symbol.
Ra?
That's the Eye of Horus.
Oh, I have Horus. I don't know anything. I just saw Stargate a couple times.
This point here is hearing, smell, touch, and this long line ending in a spiral is the tongue.
The Avatar would be Amit's voice.
Oh, so smart.
I just thought it was an eye.
I'm just saying what I see, and I see lots of bones and blood going that way, and so I'm just thinking, like, what if there's maybe another? There's like another
I'm just saying what I see. A lot of blood and bones going that way.
tough regeneration thing. Lots of
Steven,
yeah,
the exit.
yeah. We can go this way. What are they shooting at?
That does not sound like a good sound. That sounds like a freaky sound.
Oh no.
Oh, he's gonna be mummified. I bet he's gonna, like, one of those tools is like a nose swizzle or something. Oh no. Does he not have any sense that there are other people there?
No.
It's like some sort of zombie. Oh, gotta take out all the essential organs.
Ew.
Oh God, be quiet.
Is he gonna do the thing where he pulls the brain out through
Yeah,
the nose?
the nose schnozzle thing that he talked about in episode 1.
Schnozzle.
Ugh, it's gross.
Joel. Ellie.
I know, right? What are you gonna do? Put some powder on it? I don't know. Oh, did he get it?
I squished it.
GTFO. That's right. That's the plan.
It's a maze, though.
I know. So.
Oh.
It does feel very Indiana Jonesy, doesn't it? She loves a flare. I think I would find this virtually impossible to do because my palms would be sweating and then I would just fall. Oh no! Oh no! No! Yuck, yuck, yuck! You don't want to hold that hand!
It's right behind.
Ah! No! No! Oh man! Yuck!
How'd she do that?
She's just, I don't know, she's strong. Ah! Oh, Stumpy. Yeah. Deeper. I mean...
Oh, I guess there was a bottom. Okay. 'Cause when she... Oh.
Oh. Dang, how'd she do that? How'd she pull that off?
She Obi-Wan Kenobi that shit.
Gotta keep moving. Let's go.
I think we're looking at the long-lost tomb of Alexander the Great.
That's who I thought it was. That's who I thought it was. If I said the name wrong, all the history buffs gonna come after me.
You handled that beautifully.
Why do all men like you feel it necessary to be just so
condescending.
Yeah.
I think he would have said that to a dude as well.
Oh, everything inside me is like screaming not to open this thing.
Yeah.
You want Harrow to get the Amit first? All right.
It's always a bad idea to open a sarcophagus. Don't you know about the curses?
Open up. Oh, sorry, Mr. Gray. Sorry. Oh, yeah, that's it. Get in there. Reach in there, buddy.
Ew.
Mark remembers everything that happened that day. Everyone who died, but one man stands out. Handmade. Made by his daughter, perhaps?
Are you done?
I do hope you find closure.
Gosh, like, he's really digging deep. So now what? Do you destroy it?
I mean, I had to go digging down old Alexander the Great's Scarlet, but I found it.
Can he hear me?
Alexander? I don't think so. God, I hope not.
What happened to my father?
I've tried to tell you since the moment we met.
That's the reason that we met. You just had a guilty conscience. There must be another way out.
Go, find it. I'll hold them off. Come on!
Oh no. Dang. Okay, there's a lot this time.
And right now, you have a very important decision to make. I can't save anyone who won't save themselves.
Oh, he's got the statue, right? Does that have any effect?
Does he still have the statue?
I
Or
thought
did he
he
give it
did.
to her? Yeah, I'm not sure. I was just wondering if any gods would intervene. Because I imagine this is kind of how he became the Avatar in the beginning, right? Because he nearly died. And that was the night when all of that happened.
No tree can ascend to the light of heaven if it doesn't descend to the depths of hell. That's a good line. Yeah. The plot makes a real meal out of a lunar god.
That was from episode 1.
Yeah.
To me, this is a writing utensil. To my dog, it's a chew toy. Both are accurate, right? It's just a question of context and perspective.
Look at the like Egyptian pots in the background.
Keep gentle with him. Don't hurt him, all right?
Who's in there? Make sure that you can get out. Oh man. Is it Steven? No.
Steven!
It's like yin and yang.
How is this possible? I don't know. What's the last thing that you remember? Harrow shot us. Yes, exactly.
Oh, here's the third personality.
The third one. Let's find out who it is. Come on, you guys. Aren't you curious?
Oh, just leaving it?
Ah, no, come on. Integrate. Let him out.
That was some nice visual effects.
Oh. Hi. Oh, what? It just ended? You know that hippos are actually really fierce, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Quite dangerous.
They're very dangerous.
They gave it this little tiny female voice.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be really fierce, and then is that her voice? Layla's voice? I don't think so. I don't know. I couldn't tell. I really wanted them to open up that other sarcophagus.
They just keep teasing us.
They keep teasing us. Like, I have to know. I actually don't know all that much about dissociative identity disorder, but I wonder if there is some sort of like, let's integrate the personalities all together so we can be whole rather than splitting apart. And so I feel like them not opening up whatever this third thing is, which I understand. I mean, that's hella scary. You don't know what that is, you know?
Well, you saw what the last one was.
Yeah.
So it was Steven.
Yeah, but, you know, they don't know that they have a third personality. We do, but they don't.
They suspect something.
Yeah. That was cute when they gave each other a hug as well.
Remember I told you at the theater that there's the barcode?
Yeah.
Did I tell you what that was?
What is it?
If you scan it, it's a comic book. Eric Voss told in the breakdown it's like it's a comic book and they updated it with like a new issue or something, like a full blown.
Oh man. This episode was a lot of fun, but I am disappointed that they didn't get out of that. I don't know what it is, like some sort of psychic holding space that they're in, because, you know, I wanted to see them get out of there. I guess I just really enjoy the adventure. Like every time an episode ends, I'm always like, oh, I'm so excited to see more. Like I love hanging out. Yeah, it's a good cliffhanger. I love hanging out with these guys. I mean, 1, Oscar Isaac is cool. 2 is even better. So I'm just like, yes, give me all the Oscar Isaac.
The visual effects towards the end there was actually pretty good, where they showed 2 of them in the same frame.
Yeah.
I was actually impressed. I guess that effect is just easier to pull off now because we saw that in the Indian show that we watched, Dindora.
Yeah.
With Bhuvan Bam. And
Yeah.
like there was multiple of him in the same shot. I guess it's not stop motion, but motion control cameras. And so you can just have the actor, you know, switch positions and then the camera will replicate the exact same movement. And you just merge it in post and it's so seamless.
Yeah, it is. It really is seamless.
It looks really nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. And I enjoyed all the stuff that was going on in the tomb as well, particularly Layla's discovery of Marc's involvement in her father's death. And I think she's such a brilliant actress. All of the stuff she's going through while like trying to be strong, and she's angry at Arthur as well. And, you know, she's trying to give off a bunch of attitude, but she's just really hurt and like distraught and broken by it. And then hearing from him exactly what went down and all, and, you know, like you feel her anger and all of that. And that was a lovely scene. And then it just cuts right back into the action of like, oh shit, like there's some real life and death stuff going on right now and we need to get out of here. I thought that was really well done.
They've developed a very, very likable character in Steven. He's the underdog.
Yeah.
You know, and so you're rooting for him. I think that's why I wanted to spend more time with him. Also, it's just a goofy kind of character that Oscar Isaac created that is just enjoyable to listen to. And like his quips and everything like that, his reactions to everything is always, you know, it's humorous. The moment when they're in that tomb space and he goes, I just say what I see. And like there's...
like, maybe let's not go there.
Yeah.
Like, you know? Yeah, no, he's adorable.
There's just something very likable about him. That moment when she tries to kiss him and he goes, oh, you know, because Khonshu wants you next. It all feels realistic in terms of the character that was sculpted here.
Yeah, absolutely. And he is just so sweet. And those moments with Layla were such a joy to watch because there is like an innocence about him, you know, the way he looks at her, like you said, oh, he's so in love with her. And he's absolutely smitten with her. It's like in his wildest dreams, he could have never thought that he would have nabbed this beautiful, capable, intelligent woman, and here he is in her presence and she seems to like him too, and he's just like like, oh my god, she's amazing. It was so cute.
While I wasn't a tremendous fan of the constant shouting in the previous episode when Khonshu was taking over Marc or Steven's body in order to speak to the council, it really exemplified how good Oscar Isaac is at being this person who's playing a possessed individual, because he does such a good job of the transformation and whatnot and switching. Like even that moment, like you pointed out, in the desert where he went into the middle with the pieces of the map and the mirror, and you see that just switch, and the behavior and his posture and everything was completely different.
Yeah.
And you see that in this episode as well, when he's just kind of looking at her and the way he holds himself. It's very, very, very specific, to the point that just looking at him, you can see it's a different person without him saying anything. Then you add on top of that the very distinguishable or discernible voice from each character. I mean, obviously, Marc is just Oscar Isaac's voice. But I'm very, very excited to see the third iteration of this character, whoever that third person is, because whoever that is, because like it just makes me curious if Oscar Isaac developed a whole new voice and a whole new manner of moving and whatnot. Like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
does that look like?
Yeah, like who
know?
is this guy? Yeah, I can't wait to see him.
Yeah.
I also really enjoyed the direction of this episode because I think this series is helmed by, well, like 3 directors total, but like
I think so.
this one, they're a pair, right? I've forgotten their names, I apologize. But I believe that their thing is horror, right?
Okay.
And you definitely feel that in this episode.
It's very suspenseful, yeah.
It's super suspenseful, especially that part with the jump scare where that scary
With the-
like zombie priest guy
With
just
the Last of Us. Oh,
yeah, the clicker.
Yeah, the clicker.
Who,
Yeah.
who like just came out of the hole in the wall there and just grabbed her, and like you're like, oh no, and then you see her come back out again, and it's like, oh no, and then she gets pulled back in again, and it's just like, very nerve-wracking and scary. I really enjoyed that, just kind of the change in tone, you know, because when Mohamed Diab was directing, it kind of has a very different feel, and I feel like, you know, his episodes maybe just kind of focus on different aspects, and then there was like the Egyptian aspect of that as well in the previous episode, and then here they're kind of leaning into more of the suspense and horror and fantasy.
There's certainly some grody elements to the whole thing. I mean, when they uncovered Alexander the Great, he's reaching into his mouth, down his throat. I'm like, oh.
It could have been grosser though. I feel like it could have been.
As we established in our discussion in the previous episode, they're aiming for a very hard, elevated PG-13. I guess it says 16 plus. And so, but it's still basically PG-13, just edgier, right? And so there's that moment when the priest comes in and starts cutting open the guy. You hear it, and hearing it is almost worse than seeing it.
Yeah.
Because you hear the bits and stuff, and because meaty bits.
The meaty bits, yeah.
Like you hear things moving around. You actually see a little bit of it at one point. Like they're pushing it as far as they can within the comforts of Disney.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure that the directors Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead were like, can we show this?
This is like a little bit more.
And Disney's like,
Yeah.
no, you can't. No, that's way too much guts. You
Yeah.
gotta take that out, take that out, take that out. And so a lot of it is obscured and blurred out. To some degree, I think that almost makes it more uncomfortable and unsettling because your mind starts to invent what is going on.
Yeah, I mean, sound design is definitely very crucial in
Yeah.
horror, and if you don't have the means of doing the visuals, the sounds alone are incredibly scary.
Right.
Yeah.
I was a little bit thrown how, when they were having that gun shootout sequence in the desert near the beginning of the episode, how she managed to spot the bullets in the back of the truck during all of that, frenzy.
I didn't think about it too hard. Like when you said, how did she see that? And I was like, well, they showed us, didn't they? Like they showed the POV. Like I just assumed that was a POV. But yeah, you're right. Like she would have to have like amazing vision, like night vision.
Because she's
to be
looking
able
at
to
the
see that.
back of the truck without a light source. The light source is in front of the truck.
Yeah.
It's coming out of the truck.
You know, I think we can buy that.
I don't, but I'm just letting it go because the show had to keep moving somehow.
Yeah.
But it's just like there's no way she would have seen that. Her adrenaline's going. She's thinking about survival. I mean, I don't know. It's cool. You know, there was this poignant moment where the priest had her at the edge of the cliff inside the cave.
Yeah.
And your expectation is that Mark or Steven shows up to save her. And I'm thinking to myself, well, because how evolved we are now, that can't happen, is my thought. Maybe it was a plot structural thing where he can't have saved her because he's got to be at this other location with the sarcophagus.
I hadn't even thought about that. I just was like, yeah,
well, because
girlfriend's
oftentimes
gonna save herself.
I think when you have any character in a perilous situation, usually another character comes in to help out unexpectedly, at the last second.
Sure.
But I guess it's more noticeable with a woman who's in peril. Often she can't save herself. A guy has to come in and save her. And here she did it herself. And so I'm wondering if that was like a deliberate consideration of the aforementioned of like women can't save themselves. Here, this woman can. It's like, I'm wondering if that was like deliberate.
But it's
in that
not
regard.
outside of her character either, because
it's
she
not.
has always been portrayed as someone who is
You're
very
right.
gutsy
Absolutely.
and brave and intelligent.
Yeah.
And so I completely buy that she figured it out.
I'm not questioning her ability to save herself. I just noticed that. I'm like, oh, okay. It just made me curious. Because like there's this like constant crossover of like what's going on politically speaking, and then movies, and then the Bechdel test and all that. So like there's a lot of that happening in conversation right now. And so I thought it was worth pointing out. It was interesting. Arthur Harrow is just able to just show up everywhere and just hang out. It's the weirdest thing to me. I think that was what was throwing me off in the previous episode. It didn't happen as much here, but he just was like everywhere. And he's just like there. If he's that capable, how is anyone a threat? It's like he can just show up and
Well, the time when he showed up in the pyramid, he was brought there by the
Right.
gods.
He was summoned.
That explains it.
Yeah.
And then I guess the other time he knew that dude or something. I don't know. But yeah, the thing about him though is like his superpower is getting inside your head and messing you up.
Yeah, I wanted to know how you knew so much.
I think it's part of Amit's power because she can.
Oh, I
judge everyone.
I thought because when he was reading Oscar Isaac, he was able to see what Oscar Isaac had gone through, and that's what he was relaying.
Yes, that was what he was relaying. But I think like just by being around people, he can kind of sense the stuff that's going on within them. Like he explained, it's like it's the pain and the sins that they've committed.
Speaking of sin, I was a little thrown when he shot Steven because I go, wait, hold on. That's you actually pulling a trigger versus the Amit taking this person's soul.
True. I hadn't thought about that, but perhaps in service of Amit, then it can be justified.
Maybe,
I don't
maybe
know.
I'm overthinking it. Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what's going on there at the end then? Like is it happening inside of his head? Amit did something to him mentally, or does it have something to do with the statue? Like I was a little bit confused.
I have no idea. I mean, I'm sure that's going to be answered, but it definitely feels like some sort of mental cage.
No, I don't think they're going to answer it. I think
No?
that's the end of the show right there. There's
No,
no more episodes.
No more. That's it.
Why would they have this like crazy screaming question that they just don't answer?
Yeah, no. Okay, fine. You're
Yeah.
taking the piss. I think it's definitely something inside his head. And I wonder if maybe it is like what Arthur Harrow as the therapist in that white place was saying. You know, it's like he's trying to uncover some sort of information that only Mark and Steven have, or like in their brain, right?
Gotcha.
And he can't ask direct questions because every time he does, they freak out. And so he has to kind of do this roundabout way and like create situations and stuff where maybe they will accidentally discover the thing that he needs.
I gotta say, the show had me for a moment. I was like, hold on. Is all of this happening inside of his head? That can't be what the show is.
Oh my god, what if that is?
No, it's not. It's obviously not. The way that show it's like it's obviously not all happening in his head. But it for a fleeting moment, I did ponder that. Like, could all of this just been this delusions of grandeur is the phrase I always hear. And is that applicable here? Like he's got that, I don't know if it's a narcissistic thing but like he's invented this entire story where he's the hero because he can't take being in this wheelchair. That's where my brain went for a second.
That's interesting.
And so I was like, okay, so he started taking all these characters like Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And like, oh, you were there and just like created this whole Egyptian, Nathan Drake type adventure when really he's just in a psych ward in his wheelchair. And like, oh, this lady who's also a cookie person eating like sweets and stuff, turns out it's his wife in his mind. That's where my mind went for a fleeting moment because I was like,
that's possible.
That cannot be what this show is about. They were, harping on this whole thing about talking about mental disorders and stuff like that and really wanting to shed light on that. I'm like, is that what they're doing here? Is that what's going on?
Well, I think they've done a really good job with that in just the sense of making us feel a certain way, like potentially giving us a similar feeling of discombobulation and confusion that you might feel if you were a person in that situation. Like, I love how they've portrayed every single time he kind of blacks out and then becomes a different personality and then like comes back in, and it feels really disorienting, and ending up in that white space with a bunch of questions and no answers kind of makes you feel that way too, because you're like, wait, where am I? Who am I? What's going on? Why can't I move? Like, it just feels really, really scary,
They showed us something, and I don't know if it was just for the sake of a joke, but there was an instance where Mark reached through and punched Steven in the face.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, you showed me something really, really important there. Please don't let that just be like a ha-ha thing. Like, that should have been in the fight scene in the previous episode.
Yeah.
Where Steven's reaching through and going, nope, and... Yeah, I mean, maybe it would have been too much like Me, Myself, and Irene. They wanted to avoid it looking like that because that kind of thing did happen in Me, Myself, and Irene, where he like literally punches himself in the face and he's just like, he's stopping himself and whatever. So maybe that's what they were avoiding, but I think that would have been a really cool thing to integrate into the action a little bit. And obviously, he's able to do that. He's able to reach through and punch himself. So it just makes me curious about like, where is the line? Are those blackouts going to continue to be a thing if they're able to have this weird overlap like that? And like you're saying, there might be an integration, a fusion of the personalities or something, where they can both be kind of active at the same time.
Yeah, I seem to vaguely remember that maybe that's how you kind of start to heal the personalities is integration. It's been a long time since I've studied psychology, so.
They introduced a lot of questions there right at the end of the episode between our father's death and then like with this psych room and then the hippopotamus there.
Like what's up with the hippopotamus?
There's a lot of questions. And then
Yeah.
what's going to happen with the little statue that was inside of Alexander the Great?
Yeah, and again, I mean,
How are they gonna get
that's a
Khonshu back?
similar type. I think that's
Yeah.
the same type of statue that
Yes,
they
it
turned
was.
Khonshu into.
it
So
was.
presumably, if they're able to bring back Amit, then maybe they can do the same for Khonshu as well, or any of the plethora of gods that were in that room. Yeah.
Anyway, interesting episode. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoy that. Please hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and vote this up if you're watching this on Patreon. Thanks so much for supporting us here. I am JABY KOAY. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.